Hi there, Linda Hollington from Caldwell Banker Paradise. Thank you for joining me. We're going to talk today about tenants and signing leases. First of all, you have a prospective landlord and you have a tenant. They decide to sign the Florida Realtors contract to lease. It's form CL9 before the start of the lease. That means that you've made connection and they've agreed to sign this agreement to do a lease is exactly what it is. And what are both sides agreeing to, and what does it do for you and what doesn't it do for you? This starts with signing this agreement, the CL9. Then you start signing a lease agreement. And you make a date to sign a lease agreement. If the tenant does not sign as promised, the landlord is entitled to the deposit. If the landlord does not sign, the tenant receives the deposit back and any damage that it's caused, and it's generally financial. Maybe they moved out already and they got to find another place. So the tenant then is eligible for the refund plus any kind of damages that this caused. The deposit, the contract to lease deposit goes into this agreement for the future lease in this section, along with any other charges to be paid before occupancy. It goes in the previous agreement, the one that you signed, the form CL9. I know it's confusing because one is like a pre-lease, but you don't always have time to sign a lease. You have a call. Yes, okay, we'll take the lease. Okay, we're going to sign this pre-lease agreement and I'll get it to you right away. That means that the tenant's signing and saying, yes, I'm going to sign a lease. And that stops them from leasing to someone else until you can get together to do the actual lease. The deposit, the contract to the lease, the deposit goes into and any other charges to be paid before occupancy. I know I'm repeating myself. They can both agree to make both deposits the same amount or whatever amount. And then they have to prepare the lease for you, and they talk about other terms that may be in the lease. And it's possible that the final lease will be different than the one that you discussed in the agreement. And it'll be clearly stated in this agreement, and this agreement will be the one that will be actually in control. So you want to make sure that you make the appointment to do the contract lease so you don't lose your deposit. And you want to look over the terms of that particular lease, what you're responsible for to get to the lease signing. Then when you get to the lease signing, you want to read that carefully as well. They used to call it an intent to lease. I've signed those myself. I intended to lease, and one time I lost a deposit because I couldn't go through with what I agreed. I couldn't sign the agreement and stuff like that. So just make sure you understand when you're signing something, is this the actual lease, or is this something that shows my intentions to lease, and what make sure you agree to something that you can do in that particular lease. Thank you for joining me. See you again soon.